So for the past month, I've been doing a challenge on the channel trying to platinum all of the LEGO games before hitting 600,000 subscribers. Now I only have a few left, and since I'm such a nice guy, I decided to take a break from those games today and platinum Far Cry 3 instead. You know, just so you guys have more of a chance of beating me. So make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Anyways, Far Cry 3 is in my opinion one of the best or the best Far Cry game ever made. Primarily because of this guy right here, Vaas. Now sure, his name sounds like fancy water that would probably be in a glass bottle at the store, but he is one bad son of a bitch. Oh my god! The game contains a small amount of 44 trophies inside of it, with most from story-related things. And I had played the game a tad bit during the summer, so I already had 8 trophies going into it. The first stage of the platinum trophy is to just beat the story. I know, that's hard to believe, but stick with me here. So the game opens up with a little summer montage of all the fun you and your buddies have been having on vacation abroad. Man, wouldn't it just suck if we got captured by a psychotic drug lord on a remote island with no laws? Are you serious right now? Basically, Vaas captured all of us and is pretty much just either killing us or selling us to somebody, so it's a great time. Also, the homie right here we are caught up with in this mess is apparently a military god and figure out a way to escape confinement instantly. So we then followed his every move because we have absolutely no clue what is going on, but he does. Sadly though, homeboy would end up getting popped right in front of us. You know, if the trauma couldn't get any worse. Vaas, however, is a nice guy, so he gave us a very peaceful countdown before chasing after us in the forest. And we then did get chased by him for a little while before making it to this bridge, which then completely got destroyed also, and left us falling underwater. Then a hand reached down to save us, and that is the entry to the game. Nice. So yeah, this black dude right here is basically our daddy now after saving us, and he is the initial quest giver of the early game. First objective was to turn on this radio tower so we can see the map and things around the area. There is also some trophies attributed to radio towers later on in the game, but there was then some cringe foraging objective, and it was followed by us taking over an enemy outpost, so it's okay. I forgive you, game. And yeah, let's just say stealth is not my specialty, but hey, completion is completion. What do you want from me? A while later, we then made our way to Dr. Earnhardt, who is this like drugged out old dude, and he is kind of sus to be honest. But he did have one of our friends here alive and well, at least I think so. Anyways, he then gave us some mission to go find mushrooms for treatment or something. And I think it's safe to say that I went on a bad trip. What the hell is happening right now? I then had to take out some more outposts the story told me to, and during this one, a damn tiger got let loose and mauled me to death. The true final boss of Far Cry 3. Wildlife. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, they also planted a bomb, which was cool, and it did indeed explode. Now that was a lot of fun, but what's even more fun is when you get tricked into going inside some dark cave just to get jumped and then captured by Vaas again. Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me. But hey, we got to see our girlfriend, I think, and also this dude. He looks like a fun guy. But then Vaas set the entire building on fire, and we had to escape and find Lisa. Once we made it outside, we did manage to do that, but the action wasn't over, and then we got chased for multiple minutes by cars with angry men who have guns. Thankfully, I got given a grenade launcher, so it was kind of unfair. But once we saved Lisa, we then stored her up at Dr. Earnhardt's place with the other girl. And instead of finding my other homies who were probably slowly dying out in the forest, I just peacefully took a hang gliding excursion the island offered for any tourists with no extra charge. Landing wasn't included. Next, our boy Dennis from the beginning of the game, who saved us, finally answered our text and decided to hook us up with some of the tribal locals to help us fight against the drug lords. Sounds like a great idea to me. However, their leader was, I'm sensing a lot of sexual tension right now. I have a girlfriend. Please leave me alone.
Stop the cap.
I did not consent to another bad trip. What the fuck? Oh yeah, we also then got to meet up with this military guy informant. I don't know, he looked cool. And he gave us this mission to go and burn some weed fields, which was like unironically the best mission in the game. It was just so much fun. Sadly, I didn't have enough things to burn them all, and I was honestly just confused, so I sort of raged for 45 minutes because I couldn't burn all the fields since I'm stupid. And I even went to the extent of unlocking the flamethrower myself and then heading back to the mission to do it. Also, I am now just realizing that I totally left the flamethrower he gave me on his desk, so I can now confirm I'm just stupid. And then the dude gave us another mission, but it was much more simple, and we just had to protect and escort this guy named Rongo. But this mission also turned into just straight up COD zombies, and I just camped in a house as enemies ran at me for miles around. Anyways, we finally became friends with that dude in the white suit, and he told us that a convoy was holding our other friend Oliver. You know, the one that we didn't save in the fire earlier. So we tracked them down as you do, and I also then cosplayed as the American sniper for a hot minute, which was cool. Ignore my aim. And then the mission ended with an insane boat trip where lots of bullets and explosions did indeed occur. But after we saved Oliver, I finally got my first new trophy of the day. What a ride. I was then on some boat a bit later, just fully taking it over with my big cock energy. And while flaming enemies down, I ended up getting 50 entries or something into my journal. Kind of gay, but okay. The rest of this mission then had us hack into some laptop to get info and stuff, of course, but we tripped a virus or something and it blew the entire ship up. So we then had a cool underwater swim section which ended with an even bigger explosion. And again, some man saved us from certain peril, who is also the guy that has one of our friends hostage, by the way, and we are pretty much just his bitch for a while. So he then made us just kill and rob a ton of people and places, essentially. Also, we went tomb diving and found this sacred knife in the depths of Lizard Land. So we, of course, had to give it back to this deranged man in return for our friend, who, as a matter of fact, was just sitting downstairs in some sort of dungeon crying. The creep then followed us down and said, "Psych, you have to stay here also." And I'm not sure what his plan was here, but it was a bad one because I easily took him out in some trippy knife fight like 10 seconds later. We then saved the homie and got another trophy. There was then this long-ass mission where we fought people like crazy and even had to chase down more enemies and take them out while also opening this truck just to see we were actually after Vaz the whole time. And yeah, he knocked us out. We then woke up to one of the most iconic cutscenes in video game history. If you haven't seen this scene yet, Vaz pretty much just explains to us what insanity is while not really being self-conscious of his own actions and mental health.
That is crazy.
Oh, and we also got kicked into the water below with a cement block, so that's fun. But plot armor saved us once more, and then I just stealthed the next part of this mission as to avoid fighting an army and escaped with a helicopter. And I got a trophy from all that fun the mission gave us a few minutes later. There was then this weird-ass ritual with the tribal people, and I can't even show it on YouTube. It was too graphic. But we pretty much just quote-unquote gained the power and now have the strength to take out Vaz, so we did just that. And after tracking him down into this room, once we got past his army of soldiers, he again just pops out of the corner and knocks us out. I'm getting sick of these hide-and-seek games. It's becoming a bit cringe.
That's what I'm saying.
But Vaz then let us wake up and fight him instead of just popping us one time with the Glock like he should have a year ago. And this fight was pretty dope. You know, obviously we won and then got a trophy for killing Vaz, the best video game villain ever, aside from maybe Menendez from Call of Duty. But that actually wasn't the end of the game, and we still had to kill the main leader guy who I can't even remember the name of. But I did end up meeting that fancy guy from earlier on in the game who helped us find some of our friends, and he just gave me a nice little joyride in his plane and I got a trophy. I was then on this mission quite a while later and had to photograph some deals or something going down, and I guess I took so many pictures in that game that I got a trophy for it. This mission, by the way, was like unironically hard, and I died or failed so many times I lost track. I did manage to finish it finally though, thank the Lord. We then got to have a meeting with the final boss since we were trying to get in on his gang and then take him out from the inside. My favorite. But as a bonding experience, he had us torture this poor kid in his basement. And that is also our little brother, by the way, so Christmas is gonna be awkward as hell this year. Thankfully, I got a trophy from torturing him, so it isn't all lost. Anyways, we then had this mission later where you and the homie Sam take some car with a turret on it and just go and destroy everything this gang has, and it's honestly a vibe. The boss man then, of course, was suspicious of us, so he invited us to a peaceful poker game, and since I suck at poker, I had no idea what to do, and he just killed our poor homie. What the fuck? And yeah, we then got to duel him in the Shadow Realm, and I guess this is what pure testosterone and tribal prayer does to your mind. Of course, we won again and got a trophy for killing the final boss man. It was then the end of the story, and we had one last mission escaping with a helicopter, which was like unironically difficult, and I barely did it. But it was then followed with more tribal crap, and I chose to save my friends and not this crazy ass lady. So yeah, she died. Rest in peace, bozo. And I then got the final story trophy for the game. So now it's time for stage 2 of the Platinum Trophy. Just clean up all the trophies. That's the stage 2. I began first by fully customizing a gun in the shop because why not? And I got a trophy. The next one I went after was the collectible regarding radio towers, actually. The trophy only requires you to fix 9 of them, but there is 18 total in the game, and I just did all 18 anyways because it helped with seeing stuff. A while later, I then spent 5k total in the shop, which is easy because I'm an impulse buyer. And I then liberated the first of 32 outposts in the game, which I find hilarious since I quite literally did not do a single one until now, but hey, a trophy. And I also crafted 5 upgrades for my equipment a little bit after. I was then having a rough day, so I just swam down as far as I could into the water and ended up getting a trophy for it. Just kind of shameless. I was then grinding more of those enemy outposts I had to do and ended up killing a total of 50 enemies with the flamethrower, actually. Now that is evil, but I think burning someone alive with the repair tool might be a little worse, and that is also a trophy. I then attempted one of the more annoying and hard trophies in the game. It's gotten from blowing up 4 enemies with 1 explosion, which is nearly impossible unless they are all in a vehicle, since enemies in this game are like low-key smart and never group up. So I managed to get lucky and found a car heading into an outpost with 4 enemies in it. I then absolutely domed a guy with a bow from over 70 meters away, and it made me feel like a real man. I'm not even kidding, I got a little bit aroused. So I then had to calm myself down and inserted a bunch of needles in me for another trophy. Later on, on, I found this outpost that had a mountain above it, and off the record, this is like the dumbest place to situate your base, but I won't judge. It was perfect though for me to try and land on an enemy from a parachute, which is a trophy as a matter of fact. And I then managed to distract 25 enemies with rocks after a year of throwing those damn things. I hate that trophy.
That's what I'm saying.
But finally, an hour or so later, I liberated every single outpost in the game, which took quite some time actually, and I think it might have taken as long as I did to beat the main story, which is kind of funny. I then had some random trophies left, including some collectible ones, which first I actually did do one of the collectible ones and found all of the memory cards in the game. I then fell 100 meters without dying, which is a trophy. Why? I don't know. Anyways, while looking for collectibles, I got super bored, so I made some fancy drugs to excite my life. Always works. And I actually managed to find enough artifact collectibles for that trophy right here. Also, this game doesn't need you to collect everything in it, so that's nice, I guess, but kind of lame. Give me a challenge, Ubisoft. I then did the last collectible trophy for just finding 20 of these letters around the game. They show up on the map though, so it really isn't bad at all. Next, I did some hunt quest and killed some bears with a shotgun, so I'm pretty much the Revenant, I guess. Oh yeah, I also killed an albino crocodile and skinned it. Now, if that doesn't scream late night TV, I don't know what does. And I also found this guy's head in the sand, which is an Easter egg to something I'm not aware of, I think. I then stabbed some guy in the back, literally, and got a trophy. And I bought every skill in the game, finally. And my last trophy was then to win $1,500 in poker. Now, I don't know how to play poker, and I suck at gambling, so this took me over an hour to do. And eventually, I decided to just do this strategy of going all in with the most expensive version of poker. And if you lose, you just reset your save slot and try again. So yeah, that actually worked. And here's the trophy. Followed with the platinum right after. And that was the Far Cry 3 Platinum experience. Honest to God, this game is a banger. I don't even have anything bad to say about it aside from the fact that they didn't remaster it because that would go so hard it would break something. Sounds familiar.